Hi, welcome to Mini Shop's How to Sculpt videos with myself, Elizabeth, and today I'm going to show you how to make hands, how to sculpt hands. I love seeing what you guys make, so if you're inspired to make something, send a photo to me and I can share it at the end of one of my videos. Let's get to it.
To begin, you'll need a work mat to protect your tabletop. I just use a plain old piece of paper. You'll need some clay, and this one requires a few more tools. You'll need a potter's needle or a toothpick works great. You'll need a silicone dowel tool, and I have a few of these different ones that I've got on Amazon. I think they're like $8 or something. If you don't have those, you can just use a pen tip or your finger. And you'll need an x-acto knife or a butter knife, but don't use it for food after you've used it for clay. All right, take about as much clay as you want the size of your hand to be, and we're gonna warm it up so it doesn't crack in the oven. And if I'm making two hands, I usually at the very beginning roll two balls and make sure they're the exact same size. But I'll just make one for this tutorial and leave that part up to you. So I'm going to roll it into a ball, either between thumb and index finger, or between my palm, or on my work surface. All right, once we have the ball, I'm gonna roll it a little bit to make it into more of an oval shape. And then I'm going to press it between my thumb and index finger, just ever so slightly applying pressure. And then I'm gonna apply pressure again, just a little bit of pressure until we get to this kind of oval, or more like a rectangle with rounded edges. And then I'm gonna choose which side I want to be the base of the hand, and then I'm going to make my fingers into a little corner and then press this portion up here in the upper left hand or right hand corner, depending on which hand you're making, and press it just a little bit, like a little tap tap, and a little tap there. And then you can press this edge as well to kind of smooth that area down, and then you see how you might have made a little indent. Press that edge between your fingers. All right, once you have that, take your knife. Your toothpick can also work for this. It's just a little easier with the knife. And come in at an angle, this similar angle as we have here, about a third or a fourth of the way in. And then you'll just draw a line and see if you like the look of that. And then press it in all the way around to the other side, like so. Then you're gonna take this and make a line right in line with this side here. So we'll make a line there, and we'll just press all the way down for that one. And then press down again to take this portion out. Set that aside, and now you're gonna make the four fingers. So sometimes I just make very, very light lines before doing anything, just to evenly distribute them. I also sometimes make a very small line right at this portion, this junction, all the way across, so that it's kind of an even line. It can slope down a little bit because your hand does, but all right. Once you have the lines that you like the look of, cut all the way through, pressing all the way through and pressing all the way through. Okay, at this point I pull the ends of each finger, kind of smoothing the side as I go, pulling the end of that finger, smoothing the side, and I kind of pull this one out to the side so there's more room to work with it. Pull this one as well. And if they're still stuck together, just press your knife in there, or your toothpick or potter's needle. If you see any hairs, just pull them away. All right, now once you have that, I always have to look at my hand every time to see which finger is the tallest. I know that's silly, but it's okay. All right, so take your knife and kind of cut the pointer finger at an angle, like so, on one side, and then you can tidy up the edge like that and pull any small pieces off, and then kind of round it back and forth between your fingers until it's more smooth. All right. Then we'll pull this one a little bit further and we'll round the edges off with our fingers. We're kind of tapping and smoothing as we go. Like so. And it's okay if this backside isn't perfect yet, we'll get there. And then we're gonna take our knife again and cut this finger at an angle so it's a little bit shorter, but still taller than the pointer finger. You can cut this side, cut the other side, and then we'll smooth it off. Smoothing it ever so slightly. And now we're on to the pinky. So it's quite considerably shorter. So I'll pull this one out a little bit more and then trim it right about here. All right, now smoothing the edges. That's the good foundation. Now we're gonna take this small silicone dowel tool and just slightly smooth those edges as well of the finger. You see how it's square, a square cut right there? So we'll take this and kind of beveling the edge, okay, just rounding the edge of that square on all of them. So take a minute, and then you can take your silicone dowel tool and press along that line we made earlier to smooth it out, and then indent in between the fingers again if you get a little bit uneven. All right, now if your fingers have gotten too thick, we're just going to take our knife and give it a good little cut like so. You can just slightly pull a little bit away like that. Okay, once we do that, we'll take our silicone dowel tool again, smooth it out, just smooth all those wrinkles away, and then we'll probably have to recut the lines from the back. Line them up again, like so. And you can take your silicone dowel tool and help with those lines. All right, now you can press right here where the thumb is and push and make a little indent on the other side, pulling it away from the hand. You'll see it creates this little crevice here, so we're going to smooth that. Once you get the thumb to about the right thickness, I just break it off like so, and then smooth the end again. I also make an indent right here and pull a little bit more. Okay, so we're getting closer. This takes a little bit of time and patience and a little bit of practice sometimes. So be patient with yourself and the clay and just enjoy the process. All right, take your knife again and just make a slight line. You can use your knife or your toothpick to just tidy up the lines whenever they get a little bit smushed looking. Okay, and we're gonna take our potter's needle and press along that junction, the fingers right here a little bit. And we're going to make these lines, the joints. And when you're making the lines, just slightly press and pull. Don't try to draw it per se, but just like a light. Feel free to look at your hand when you need an example of where the lines are. I have to do that nearly every time. Make a tiny little line. All right. Now, this is more of the specialty tool. It's a little metal ball. Your toothpick can also do this too. It just is a little more difficult. But you can take it and put your finger on one side of this hand so that it doesn't bend far back, and set this on top of a finger end and just slightly press, just ever so slightly, and then roll it a tiny bit back and forth and pull it a little bit. Press, roll, and pull just a little bit until you get the right size that you want. All right, press it like you're doing a little sketch. All right, from the pinky. If you get your fingernail too big, feel free to make it smaller with your silicone dowel tool, and then take it over to the thumb, press like so, and actually make the lines on the thumb, so the lines right here at the base, and then the joint like so. Make any other lines that your hands have. If they have more wrinkles, then you're gonna draw more lines along here, adding wrinkles to there. But now we're gonna do this side. So we can just draw our little, unless you're putting the hand on something and you won't see the back, then feel free to not do this part. Just make those little joint creases on your hand. You can always look at your hand. And then you're going to start at the pointer finger and make a slope, pressing a slope. Start at the other side and slope to the same spot. Then we're gonna press around in a circle, like so. Also along the base of the fingers. You can take your silicone dowel tool and just kind of press those lines to make them a little less looking like lines and more like creases. As you need, until you're happy with it. You can take your potter's needle again to smooth up in between the fingers. I usually need to do that quite frequently. and then check out the other side, see if you like it, and if you like it, then either stop there, or if you have someone who's going to have their hand in a sleeve, then you can leave it like this and attach a toothpick, or you can roll out a small snake to make the arm of your person like this, and you can attach it by just twisting ever so slightly, holding on to the base of the palm so you don't squish this work that you've done. And then you can take your silicone dowel tool or your toothpick and smooth it in. It'll take a little bit of time again, but if you've come this far, you can keep going, or you can succeed at this. All right, touch up anything else you would like to do. If you have any questions or requests for my next video, please let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys had fun. Have a great day and good luck. Bye.